Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, from the quarto of 1616, by Christopher Marlowe. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Dramatis Personae. Chorus.
Read by Noel Badrian.
Faustus.
Read by David Goldfarb.
Mephistopheles.
Read by Adam Wybray.
Wagner.
Read by Chuck Williamson.
Valdis.
Read by Kevin Johnson.
Cornelius.
Read by Wupperhippo.
Good Angel.
Read by April Gonzalez.
Evil Angel.
Read by Capricia Page.
Clown.
Read by Alan Mapstone.
First Scholar.
Read by Lauren Burwell.
Second Scholar.
Read by Tiffany Halla Colonna.
Third Scholar.
Read by Elizabeth Klatt.
Lucifer.
Read by Chuck Williamson.
Beelzebub.
Read by Miss Avarice.
Pride. Read by Algie Pug. Covetousness.
Read by Alan Mapstone.
Envy.
Read by Christine G.
Wrath.
Read by Rhonda Fetterman.
Gluttony.
Read by Charlotte Duckett.
Sloth.
Read by Capricia Page.
Lechery.
Read by Lauren Burwell.
Robin.
Read by Alan Mapstone.
Dick.
Read by Elizabeth Klatt.
The Pope.
Read by Martin Geeson.
Raymond.
Read by Charlotte Duckett.
Bruno.
Read by Wupperhippo.
Cardinal of France.
Read by Larry Womack.
Archbishop of Rheims. Read by Algie Pug. Friar.
Read by Liberty Stump.
Vintner.
Read by Wupperhippo.
Martino.
Read by Wupperhippo.
Frederick.
Read by Anna Simon.
Benvolio.
Read by Cliff Thompson.
Emperor Charles V.
Read by Alan Mapstone.
Duke of Saxony.
Read by Charlotte Duckett.
First Soldier.
Read by Tiffany Halla Colonna.
Second Soldier. Read by Algie Pug. Horse Courser.
Read by Phil Benson.
Carter.
Read by Phil Benson.
Hostess.
Read by Lauren Burwell.
Duke of Van Holt.
Read by John Trevithick.
Duchess of Van Holt.
Read by Dwan.
Servant to the Duke of Van Holt. Read by Algie Pug. Old Man. Read by Algie Pug. Cardinal of Padua.
Read by John Trevithick.
Narrator. Read by Algie Pug. End of Dramatis Personae. Act 1. Scene 1. Enter Chorus.
Not marching in the fields of Thrasymene, where Mars did mate the warlike Carthagins, nor sporting in the dalliance of love, in courts of kings where state is overturned, nor in the pomp of proud audacious deeds, intends our muse to vaunt her heavenly verse. Only this, gentles, we must now perform, the form of Faustus's fortunes, good or bad. And now to patient judgments we appeal, and speak for Faustus in his infancy. Now he is born of parents base of stock, in Germany, within a town called Rhodes. At riper years to Wittenberg he went, whereas his kinsmen chiefly brought him up. So much he profits in divinity, that shortly he was graced with doctor's name, excelling all, and sweetly can dispute in the heavenly matters of theology, till swollen with cunning of a self-conceit, his waxen wings did mount above his reach, and, melting, heavens conspired his overthrow. For, falling to a devilish exercise, and glutted now with learning's golden gifts, he surfeits upon cursed necromancy. Nothing so sweet as magic is to him, which he prefers before his chiefest bliss. And this the man that in his study sits.
Exit. Scene 2. Faustus, discovered in his study.
Settle thy studies, Faustus, and begin to sound the depth of that thou wilt profess. Having commenced, be a divine in show, yet level at the end of every art, and live and die in Aristotle's works. Sweet analytics, 'tis thou hast ravished me. Bene disserere est finis logices. Is to dispute well logic's chiefest end. Affords this art no greater miracle. Then read no more. Thou hast attained that end. A greater subject fitteth Faustus' wit. Bid economy farewell, and Galen come. Be a physician, Faustus. Heap up gold, and be eternized for some wondrous cure. Summum bonum medicinae sanitas. The end of physic is our body's health. Why, Faustus, hast thou not attained that end? Are not thy bills hung up as monuments, whereby whole cities have escaped the plague, and 1,000 desperate maladies been cured? Yet art thou still but Faustus and a man. Couldst thou make men to live eternally, or being dead raise them to life again, then this profession were to be esteemed. Physic, farewell. Where is Justinian?
Reads.
Si una edem queres legatur duobus, alter rem, alter valorem re, etc. A petty case of paltry legacies.
Reads.
Ex hereditere filium non potest pater, nisi, etc. Such is the subject of the institute and universal body of the law. This study fits a mercenary drudge, who aims at nothing but external trash, too servile and illiberal for me. When all is done, divinity is best. Jerome's Bible, Faustus, view it well.
Reads.
Stipendium peccati mors est. Stipendium, etc. The reward of sin is death. That's hard.
Reads.
Si peccasse negamus, fallimur, et nulla est in nobis veritas. If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and there is no truth in us. Why, then, belike we must sin, and so consequently die. Aye, we must die an everlasting death. What doctrine call you this? Que sera, sera, what will be, shall be? Divinity, adieu. These metaphysics of magicians and necromantic books are heavenly. Lines, circles, scenes, letters, and characters. Aye, these are those that Faustus most desires. Oh, what a world of profit and delight, of power, of honor, and omnipotence is promised to the studious artisan. All things that move between the quiet poles shall be at my command. Emperors and kings are but obeyed in their several provinces, but his dominion that exceeds in this stretcheth as far as doth the mind of man. A sound magician is a demigod. Here tire my brains to gain a deity.
Enter Wagner.
Wagner, commend me to my dearest friends, the German Valdez and Cornelius. Request them earnestly to visit me.
I will, sir.
Exit.
Their conference will be a greater help to me than all my labours. Plod I ne'er so fast.
Enter good angel and evil angel.
O Faustus, lay that jam-book aside. and gaze not on it, lest it tempt thy soul, and heap God's heavy wrath upon thy head. Read the scriptures. That is blasphemy.
Go forward, Faustus, in that famous art wherein all nature's treasure is contained. Be thou on earth as Jove is in the sky, Lord and commander of these elements.
Exeunt Angels.
How am I glutted with conceit of this? Shall I make spirits fetch me what I please? Resolve me of all ambiguities? Perform what desperate enterprise I will? I'll have them fly to India for gold, ransack the ocean for orient pearl, and search all corners of the new-found world for pleasant fruits and princely delicates. I'll have them read me strange philosophy, and tell the secrets of all foreign kings. I'll have them wall all Germany with brass, and make swift Rhine circle fair Wertenberg. I'll have them fill the public schools with silk, wherewith the students shall be bravely clad. I'll levy soldiers with the coin they bring, and chase the Prince of Parma from our land, and reign sole king of all the provinces. Yea, stranger engines for the brunt of war than was the fiery keel at Antwerp bridge, I'll make my servile spirits to invent.
Enter Valdez and Cornelius.
Come, German Valdez and Cornelius, and make me blessed with your sage conference. Valdez, sweet Valdez, and Cornelius, know that your words have won me at the last to practice magic and concealed arts. Philosophy is odious and obscure. Both law and physic are for petty wits. 'Tis magic, magic that hath ravished me. Then, gentle friends, aid me in this attempt, and I, that have with subtle syllogisms gravelled the pastors of the German Church, and made the flowering pride of Wittenberg swarm to my problems as the infernal spirits on sweet Musaeus when he came to hell, will be as cunning as Agrippa was, whose shadow made all Europe honour him.
Faustus, these books, thy wit, and our experience, shall make all nations to canonize us. As Indian Moors obey their Spanish lords, so shall the spirits of every element be always serviceable to us three. Like lions shall they guard us when we please, like Almain rutters with their horsemen's staves, or Lapland giants trotting by our sides, sometimes like women or unwedded maids, shadowing more beauty in their airy brows than have the white breasts of the Queen of Love. From Venice shall they drag huge argosies, and from America the golden fleece that yearly stuffs old Philip's treasury, if learned Faustus will be resolute.
Valdez, as resolute am I in this as thou to live. Therefore object it not.
The miracles that magic will perform will make thee vow to study nothing else. He that is grounded in astrology, enriched with tongues, well seen in minerals, hath all the principles magic doth require. Then doubt not, Faustus, but to be renowned and more frequented for this mystery than heretofore the Delphian oracle. The spirits tell me they can dry the sea and fetch the treasure of all foreign wrecks. Yea, all the wealth that our forefathers hid within the massy entrails of the earth. Then tell me, Faustus, what shall we three want?
Nothing, Cornelius. Oh, this cheers my soul. Come, show me some demonstrations magical, that I may conjure in some bushy grove, and have these joys in full possession.
Then haste thee to some solitary grove, and bear wise Bacon's and Albertus's works, the Hebrew Psalter and New Testament, and whatsoever else is requisite we will inform thee ere our conference cease.
Valdez, first let him know the words of art, and then all other ceremonies learned, Faustus may try his cunning by himself.
First I'll instruct thee in the rudiments, and then wilt thou be perfecter than I.
Then come and dine with me, and after meat we'll canvass every quiddity thereof. For, ere I sleep, I'll try what I can do. This night I'll conjure, though I die therefore.
Exeunt. Scene 3. Enter two scholars.
I wonder what's become of Faustus, that was wont to make our schools ring with sic probo.
That shall we presently know. Here comes his boy.
Enter Wagner.
How now, sir? Where's thy master?
God in heaven knows.
Why, dost not thou know, then?
Yes, I know, but that follows not.
Go to, sir, leave your jesting, and tell us where he is.
That follows not by force of argument, which you, being licentiates, should stand upon. Therefore acknowledge your error, and be attentive.
Then you will not tell us?
You are deceived, for I will tell you. Yet if you were not dunces, you would never ask me such a question. For is he not corpus naturale? And is not that mobile? Then wherefore should you ask me such a question? But that I am by nature phlegmatic, slow to wrath, and prone to lechery. To love, I would say. It were not for you to come within 40 foot of the place of execution, although I do not doubt but to see you both hanged the next sessions. Thus, having triumphed over you, I will set my countenance like a precisian, and begin to speak thus. Truly, my dear brethren, my master is within at dinner, with Valdes and Cornelius, as this wine, if it could speak, would inform your worships. And so the Lord bless you, preserve you, and keep you, my dear brethren.
Exit.
O Faustus, then I fear which I have long suspected, that thou art fallen into that damned art, for which they two are infamous through the world.
Were he a stranger, not allied to me, the danger of his soul would make me mourn. But come, let us go and inform the rector. It may be his grave counsel may reclaim him.
I fear me nothing will reclaim him now.
Yet let us see what we can do.
Exeunt. Act 2 of the Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, from the quarto of 1616, by Christopher Marlowe. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Scene 1. Enter Faustus.
Now that the gloomy shadow of the night, longing to view Orion's drizzling look, leaps from th' Antarctic world unto the sky, and dims the welkin with her pitchy breath, Faustus, begin thine incantations, and try if devils will obey thy hest, seeing thou hast prayed and sacrificed to them. Within this circle is Jehovah's name forward and backward anagrammatized, the abbreviated names of holy saints, figures of every adjunct to the heavens, and characters of signs and erring stars, by which the spirits are enforced to rise. Then fear not, Faustus, to be resolute, and try the utmost magic can perform.
Thunder.
Sint mihi dii acerontis propitiae, valeat numen triplex Jehovae, igniae, aeriae, aquatanae spiritus salvete, orientis princeps Belzebub, infernae ardentis monarcha, et demogorgon, propitiamus vos, ut appareat et surgat Mephistophilis dragon, quod tum eraris. Per Jehovam, Gehennam, et consecratum aquam quam nunc spargo, sic numque crucis quod nunc facio, et per vota nostra, ipse nunc surgat nobis dicatus Mephistophilis.
Enter Mephistophilis.
I charge thee to return and change thy shape. Thou art too ugly to attend on me. Go, and return an old Franciscan friar. That holy shape becomes a devil best.
Exit Mephistophilis.
I see there's virtue in my heavenly words. Who would not be proficient in this art? How pliant is this Mephistophilis, full of obedience and humility! Such is the force of magic and my spells.
Re-enter Mephistophilis like a Franciscan friar.
Now, Faustus, what wouldst thou have me do?
I charge thee, wait upon me whilst I live, to do whatever Faustus shall command, be it to make the moon drop from her sphere, or the ocean to overwhelm the world.
I am a servant to great Lucifer, and may not follow thee without his leave. No more than he commands must we perform.
Did not he charge thee to appear to me?
No, I came hither of mine own accord.
Did not my conjuring speeches raise thee? Speak.
That was the cause, but yet per accidents. For when we hear one rack the name of God, abjure the Scriptures and his Saviour Christ, we fly, in hope to get his glorious soul. Nor will we come unless he use such means whereby he is in danger to be damned. Therefore, the shortest cut for conjuring is stoutly to abjure all godliness, and pray devoutly to the Prince of Hell.
So Faustus hath already done, and holds this principle: there is no chief, but only Beelzebub, to whom Faustus doth dedicate himself. This word damnation terrifies not me, for I confound hell in Elysium. My ghost be with the old philosophers. But, leaving these vain trifles of men's souls, tell me, what is that Lucifer thy lord?
Archregent, and commander of all spirits.
Was not that Lucifer an angel once?
Yes, Faustus, and most dearly loved of God.
How comes it, then, that he is prince of devils?
Oh, by aspiring pride and insolence, for which God threw him from the face of heaven.
And what are you, that live with Lucifer?
Unhappy spirits that fell with Lucifer, conspired against our God with Lucifer, and are for ever damned with Lucifer.
Where are you damned?
In hell.
How comes it, then, that thou art out of hell?
Why, this is hell, nor am I out of it. Think'st thou that I, that saw the face of God, and tasted the eternal joys of heaven, am not tormented with 10,000 hells, in being deprived of everlasting bliss? O Faustus, leave these frivolous demands, which strike a terror to my fainting soul.
What? Is great Mephistophilis so passionate for being deprived of the joys of heaven? Learn thou of Faustus' manly fortitude, and scorn those joys thou never shalt possess. Go, bear these tidings to great Lucifer. Seeing Faustus hath incurred eternal death by desperate thoughts against Jove's deity, say he surrenders up to him his soul, so he will spare him 24 years, letting him live in all voluptuousness, having thee ever to attend on me, to give me whatsoever I shall ask, to tell me whatsoever I demand, to slay mine enemies, and to aid my friends, and always be obedient to my will. Go and return to mighty Lucifer, and meet me in my study at midnight, and then resolve me of thy master's mind.
I will, Faustus.
Exit.
Had I as many souls as there be stars, I'd give them all for Mephistophilis. By him I'll be great emperor of the world, and make a bridge through the moving air to pass the ocean with a band of men. I'll join the hills that bind the Afric shore, and make that country continent to Spain, and both contributary to my crown. The emperor shall not live but by my leave, nor any potentate of Germany. Now that I have obtained what I desired, I'll live in speculation of this art, till Mephistophilis return again.
Exit. Scene 2. Enter Wagner and Clown.
Come hither, sirrah boy.
Boy? Oh, disgrace to my person! Zounds, boy, in your face! You have seen many boys with beards, I'm sure.
Sirrah, hast thou no comings in?
Yes, and going out too, you may see, sir.
Alas, poor slave! See how poverty jests in his nakedness. I know the villain's out of service, and so hungry that I know he would give his soul to the devil for a shoulder of mutton, though it were blood raw.
Not so neither. I had need to have it well roasted and good sauce to it if I pay so dear, I can tell you.
Sirrah, wilt thou be my man, and wait on me, and I will make thee go like qui mihi discipulus.
What, in verse?
No, slave, in beaten silk and staves acre.
Staves acre? That's good to kill vermin. Then belike if I serve you, I shall be lousy.
Why, so thou shalt be, whether thou dost it or no. For, sirrah, if thou dost not presently bind thyself to me for 7 years, I'll turn all the lice about thee into familiars, and make them tear thee in pieces.
Nay, sir, you may save yourself a labour, for they are as familiar with me as if they paid for their meat and drink, I can tell you.
Well, sirrah, leave your jesting, and take these guilders.
Gives money.
Yes, marry, sir, and I thank you too.
So, now thou art to be at an hour's warning, whensoever and wheresoever the devil shall fetch thee.
Here, take your guilders again, I'll none of 'em.
Not I. Thou art pressed. Prepare thyself, or I will presently raise up 2 devils to carry thee away. Bonio! Belcher!
Belcher? And Belcher, come here, I'll belch him. I'm not afraid of a devil.
Enter 2 devils.
How now, sir? Will you serve me now?
Aye, good Wagner. Take away the devils, then.
Spirits, away.
Exeunt devils.
Now, sirrah, follow me.
I will, sir. But hark you, master, will you teach me this conjuring occupation?
Aye, sirrah, I'll teach thee to turn thyself to a dog, or a cat, or a mouse, or a rat, or anything.
A dog, or a cat, or a mouse, or a rat? Oh, brave Wagner!
Villain, call me Master Wagner, and see that you walk attentively, and let your right eye be always diametrally fixed upon my left heel, that thou mayest quasi vestigiis nostris insistere.
Well, sir, I'll warn you.
Exeunt. Scene 3. Faustus discovered in his study.
Now, Faustus, must thou needs be damned? Canst thou not be saved? What boots it then to think on God or heaven? Away with such vain fancies and despair. Despair in God, and trust in Beelzebub. Now go not backward, Faustus. Be resolute. Why waverst thou? Oh, something soundeth in mine ear. Abjure this magic, turn to God again. Why, he loves thee not. The God thou servest is thine own appetite, wherein is fixed the love of Beelzebub. To him I'll build an altar and a church, and offer lukewarm blood of new-born babes.
Enter good angel and evil angel.
Go forward, Faustus, in that famous art.
Sweet Faustus, leave that execrable art.
Contrition, prayer, repentance, what of these?
Oh, they are means to bring thee unto heaven.
Rather illusions, fruits of lunacy, that make men foolish that do use them most.
Sweet Faustus, think of heaven and heavenly things.
No, Faustus, think of honour, and of wealth.
Exeunt angels.
Wealth? Why, the seigneury of Emden shall be mine. When Mephistophilis shall stand by me, what power can hurt me? Faustus, thou art safe. Cast no more doubts. Mephistophilis, come, and bring glad tidings from great Lucifer. Is't not midnight? Come, Mephistophilis, and bring glad tidings from great Lucifer. Is't not midnight? Come, Mephistophilis, veni, veni, Mephistophile.
Enter Mephistophilis.
Now tell me, what saith Lucifer thy lord?
That I shall wait on Faustus whilst he lives, so he will buy my service with his soul.
Already Faustus hath hazarded that for thee.
But now thou must bequeath it solemnly, and write a deed of gift with thine own blood, for that security craves Lucifer. If thou deny it, I must back to hell.
Stay, Mephistophilis, and tell me, what good will my soul do thy lord?
Enlarge his kingdom.
Is that the reason why he tempts us thus?
Solamen miseris socios habuis se doloris.
Why, have you any pain that torture others?
As great as have the human souls of men. But tell me, Faustus, shall I have thy soul? And I will be thy slave and wait on thee, and give thee more than thou hast wit to ask.
Ay, Mephistophilis, I'll give it thee.
Then, Faustus, stab thine arm courageously, and bind thy soul, that at some certain day great Lucifer may claim it as his own, and then be thou as great as Lucifer.
Faustus stabbing his arm.
Lo, Mephistophilis, for love of thee, Faustus hath cut his arm, and with his proper blood assures his soul to be great Lucifer's, chief lord and regent of perpetual night. View here this blood that trickles from mine arm, and let it be propitious for my wish.
But, Faustus, write it in manner of a deed of gift.
Writing.
Ay, so I do. But, Mephistophilis, my blood congeals, and I can write no more.
I'll fetch thee fire to dissolve it straight.
Exit.
What might the staying of my blood portend? Is it unwilling I should write this bill? Why streams it not that I may write afresh? Faustus gives to thee his soul. Oh, there it stayed. Why shouldst thou not? Is not thy soul thine own? Then write again. Faustus gives to thee his soul.
Re-enter Mephistophilis with the chafer of fire.
See, Faustus, here is fire, set it on.
So, now the blood begins to clear again. Now will I make an end immediately.
Writes. Aside.
What will not I do to obtain his soul?
Consummatum est. This bill is ended, and Faustus hath bequeathed his soul to Lucifer. But what is this inscription on mine arm? Homo fuge. Whither should I fly? If unto God, he'll throw me down to hell. My senses are deceived. Here's nothing writ. Oh, yes, I see it plain. Even here is writ, Homo fuge. Yet shall not Faustus fly.
I'll fetch him somewhat to delight his mind.
Aside, and then exit. Enter devils, giving crowns and rich apparel to Faustus. They dance, and then depart. Re-enter Mephistophilis.
What means this show? Speak, Mephistophilis.
Nothing, Faustus, but to delight thy mind, and let thee see what magic can perform.
But may I raise such spirits when I please?
Ay, Faustus, and do greater things than these.
Then, Mephistophilis, receive this scroll, a deed of gift of body and of soul, but yet conditionally, that thou perform all covenants and articles between us both.
Faustus, I swear by hell and Lucifer to effect all promises between us both.
Then hear me read it, Mephistopheles.
Reads.
On these conditions following. First, that Faustus may be a spirit in form and substance. Secondly, that Mephistopheles shall be his servant, and be by him commanded. Thirdly, that Mephistopheles shall do for him, and bring him whatsoever he desires. Fourthly, that he shall be in his chamber or house invisible. Lastly, that he shall appear to the said John Faustus at all times, in what shape and form soever he please. I, John Faustus, of Wittenberg, doctor, by these presents do give both body and soul to Lucifer, Prince of the East, and his minister Mephistopheles, and furthermore grant unto them that, 24 years being expired, and these articles above written being inviolate, full power to fetch or carry the said John Faustus, body and soul, flesh and blood, into their habitation wheresoever. By me, John Faustus.
Speak, Faustus. Do you deliver this as your deed?
Ay. Take it, and the devil give thee good of it.
So, now, Faustus, ask me what thou wilt.
First, I will question with thee about hell. Tell me, where is the place that men call hell?
Under the heavens.
Ay, so are all things else. But whereabouts?
Within the bowels of these elements, where we are tortured and remain for ever. Hell hath no limits, nor is circumscribed at one self-place. But where we are is hell, and where hell is, there must we ever be. And, to be short, when all the world dissolves, and every creature shall be purified, all places shall be hell that are not heaven.
I think hell's a fable.
I think so still, till experience change thy mind.
Why, dost thou think that Faustus shall be damned?
Ay, of necessity, for here's the scroll, in which thou hast given thy soul to Lucifer.
Ay, and body too, and what of that? Think'st thou that Faustus is so fond to imagine that after this life there is any pain? No, these are trifles and mere old wives' tales.
But I am an instance to prove the contrary, for I tell thee I am damned, and now in hell.
Nay, and this be hell, I'll willingly be damned. What, sleeping, eating, walking, and disputing? But leaving this, let me have a wife, the fairest maid in Germany, for I am wanton and lascivious, and cannot live without a wife.
Well, Faustus, thou shalt have a wife.
Mephistopheles fetches in a woman devil.
What sight is this?
Now, Faustus, wilt thou have a wife?
Here's a hot whore indeed. No, I'll no wife.
Marriage is but a ceremonial toy, and if thou lovest me, think no more of it. I'll call thee out the fairest courtesans, and bring them every morning to thy bed. She whom thine eye shall like, thy heart shall have, were she as chaste as were Penelope, as wise as Saber, or as beautiful as was bright Lucifer before his fall. Here, take this book, peruse it well. The iterating of these lines brings gold. The framing of this circle on the ground brings thunder, whirlwind, storm, and lightning. Pronounce this thrice devoutly to thyself, and men in harness shall appear to thee, ready to execute what thou command'st.
Thanks, Mephistopheles, for this sweet book. This will I keep as chary as my life.
Exeunt.
This audiobook is brought to you by Full Audiobooks. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon if you love audiobooks.
Act 3 of the Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, from the quarto of 1616, by Christopher Marlowe. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Scene 1. Enter Faustus in his study, and Mephistopheles.
When I behold the heavens, then I repent and curse thee, wicked Mephistopheles, because thou hast deprived me of those joys.
'Twas thine own seeking, Faustus, Thank thyself. But think'st thou heaven is such a glorious thing? I tell thee, Faustus, it is not half so fair as thou, or any man that breathes on earth.
How prov'st thou that?
'Twas made for man, then he is more excellent.
If heaven was made for man, 'twas made for me. I will renounce this magic, and repent.
Enter good angel and evil angel.
Faustus, repent, yet God will pity thee.
Thou art a spirit. God cannot pity thee.
Who buzzeth in mine ears? I am a spirit. Be I a devil, yet God may pity me. Yea, God will pity me if I repent.
Ay, but Faustus never shall repent.
Exeunt angels.
My heart is hardened. I cannot repent. Scarce can I name salvation, faith, or heaven. Swords, poisons, halters, and envenomed steel are laid before me to dispatch myself, and long ere this I should have done the deed, had not sweet pleasure conquered deep despair. Have not I made blind Homer sing to me of Alexander's love and Enon's death? And hath not he that built the walls of Thebes with ravishing sound of his melodious harp made music with my Mephistopheles? Why should I die, then, or basely despair? I am resolved, Faustus shall not repent. Come, Mephistopheles, let us dispute again, and reason of divine astrology. Speak, are there many spheres above the moon? Are all celestial bodies but one globe, as is the substance of this centric earth?
As are the elements, such are the heavens, even from the moon unto the inferior orb, mutually folded in each other's spheres, and jointly move upon one axle-tree, whose termen is termed the world's wide pole. Nor are the names of Saturn, Mars, or Jupiter feigned, but are erring stars.
But have they all one motion, both situ et tempore?
All move from east to west in 24 hours upon the poles of the world, but differ in their motions upon the poles of the zodiac.
These slender questions Wagner can decide. Hath Mephistopheles no greater skill? Who knows not the double motion of the planets? That the first is finished in a natural day, the second thus: Saturn in 30 years, Jupiter in 12, Mars in 4, the Sun, Venus, and Mercury in a year, the Moon in 28 days. These are freshmen's questions. But tell me, hath every sphere a dominion or intelligentsia?
Aye.
How many heavens or spheres are there?
9. The 7 planets, the firmament, and the inferior heaven.
But is there not Caelimignium et Crystallinum?
No, Faustus, they be but fables.
Resolve me then in this one question. Why are not conjunctions, oppositions, aspects, eclipses, all at one time, but in some years we have more, in some less?
Per inno equalum motum respectu totius.
Well, I am answered. Now, tell me, who made the world?
I will not.
Sweet Mephistopheles, tell me.
Move me not, Faustus.
Villain, have I not bound thee to tell me anything?
Aye, that is not against our kingdom. This is. Thou art damned. Think thou of hell.
Think, Faustus, upon God that made the world.
Remember this.
Exit.
Aye, go, accursed spirit, to ugly hell. 'Tis thou hast damned distressed Faustus' soul. Is not too late?
Re-enter good angel and evil angel.
Too late.
Never too late, if Faustus will repent.
If thou repent, devils will tear thee in pieces.
Repent, and they shall never raise thy skin.
Exeunt angels.
O Christ, my Saviour, my Saviour! Help to save distressed Faustus' soul.
Enter Lucifer, Beelzebub, and Mephistopheles.
Christ cannot save thy soul, for he is just. There's none but I have interest in the same.
Oh, what art thou, that look'st so terribly?
I am Lucifer, and this is my companion prince in hell.
Oh, Faustus, they are come to fetch thy soul.
We are come to tell thee thou dost injure us.
Thou callest of Christ contrary to thy promise.
Thou shouldst not think on God.
Think of the devil.
And his dam too.
Nor will Faustus henceforth. Pardon him for this, and Faustus vows never to look to heaven.
So shalt thou show thyself an obedient servant, and we will highly gratify thee for it.
Faustus, we are come from hell in person to show thee some pastime. Sit down, and thou shalt behold the 7 deadly sins appear to thee in their own proper shapes and likeness.
That sight will be as pleasant unto me as paradise was to Adam the first day of his creation.
Talk not of paradise or creation, but mark the show. Go, Mephistopheles, and fetch them in.
Mephistopheles brings in the 7 deadly sins.
Now, Faustus, question them of their names and dispositions.
That shall I, soon. What art thou, the first?
I am pride. I disdain to have any parents. I am like to Ovid's flea. I can creep into every corner of a wench. Sometimes, like a periwig, I sit upon her brow. Next, like a necklace, I hang about her neck. Then, like a fan of feathers, I kiss her lips. And then, turning myself to a wrought smock, do what I list. But fie, what a smell is here! I'll not speak a word more for a king's ransom, unless the ground be perfumed and covered with cloth of arras.
Thou art a proud knave indeed. What art thou, the second?
I am covetousness, begotten of an old churl in a leather bag, and, might I now obtain my wish, this house, you and all, should turn to gold, that I might lock you safe into my chest. Oh, my sweet gold!
And what art thou, the third?
I am envy, begotten of a chimney sweeper and an oyster wife. I cannot read, and therefore wish all books burned. I am lean with seeing others eat. Oh, that there would come a famine over all the world, that all might die, and I live alone. Then thou shouldst see how fat I'd be. But must thou sit and I stand? Come down with a vengeance.
Out, envious wretch! But what art thou, the fourth?
I am Wrath. I had neither father nor mother. I leapt out of a lion's mouth when I was scarce an hour old, and ever since have run up and down the world with this case of rapiers, wounding myself when I could get none to fight withal. I was born in hell, and look to it, for some of you shall be my father.
And what art thou, the fifth?
I am Gluttony. My parents are all dead, and the devil a penny they have left me but a small pension, and that buys me 30 meals a day and 10 bevers. A small trifle to suffice nature. I come of a royal pedigree. My father was a gammon of bacon, my mother a hogshead of claret wine. My godfathers were these, Peter Pickle Herring and Martin Martimas Beef. But my godmother, oh, she was an ancient gentlewoman. Her name was Marjorie Marchbeer. Now, Faustus, thou hast heard all my progeny. Wilt thou bid me to supper?
Not I.
Then the devil choke thee.
Choke thyself, glutton. What art thou, the sixth?
Hey ho, I am Sloth. I was begotten on a sunny bank. Hey ho, I'll not speak a word more for a king's ransom.
And what are you, Mistress Minx, the seventh and last?
Who? I, sir. I am one that loves an inch of raw mutton better than an ell of fried stockfish. And the first letter of my name begins with L.
Away to hell, away! On, piper!
Exeunt the Sins.
Oh, how this sight doth delight my soul!
Tut, Faustus! In hell is all manner of delight.
Oh, might I see hell, and return again safe! How happy were I then!
Faustus, thou shalt. At midnight I will send for thee. Meanwhile, peruse this book, and view it throughly, and thou shalt turn thyself into what shape thou wilt.
Thanks, mighty Lucifer. This will I keep as chary as my life.
Now, Faustus, farewell.
Farewell, great Lucifer.
Exeunt Lucifer and Beelzebub.
Come, Mephistopheles.
Exeunt. Scene 2. Enter Robin with a book.
What, Dick? Look to the horses there till I come again. I have got one of Dr. Faustus's conjuring books, and now we'll have such knavery as passes.
Enter Dick.
What, Robin? You must come away and walk the horses.
I walk the horses? I scorn faith. I have other matters in hand. Let the horses walk themselves, and they will.
Reads.
A per se A, T-H-E, the, O per se O, demi organ gorgon. Keep further from me, thou illiterate and unlearned hostler.
Snails, what hast thou got there? A book? Why, thou canst not tell ne'er a word on't.
That thou shalt see presently. Keep out of the circle, I say, lest I send you into the ostry with a vengeance.
That's like, faith. You'd best leave your foolery, for an my master come, he'll conjure you, faith.
My master conjure me? I'll tell thee what, and my master come here, I'll clap as fair a pair of horns on's head as thou ever saw in thy life.
Thou needst not do that, for my mistress hath done it.
Ay, there be of us here that have waded as deep into matters as other men, if they were disposed to talk.
A plague take you! I thought you did not sneak up and down after her for nothing. But I prithee tell me in good sadness, Robin, is that a conjuring book?
Do but speak what thou'st have me do, and I'll do't. If thou dance naked, put off thy clothes, and I'll conjure thee about presently. Or, if thou go but to the tavern with me, I'll give thee white wine, red wine, claret wine, sack, muscadin, malmsey, and whipping crust, hold belly hold, and will not pay a penny for it.
Oh, brave! Prithee, let's to it presently, for I am as dry as a dog.
Come then, let's away.
Exeunt. Scene 3. Enter Chorus.
Learned Faustus, to find the secrets of astronomy, graven in the book of Jove's high firmament, did mount him up to scale Olympus's top, where, sitting in the chariot burning bright, drawn by the strength of yoked dragons' necks, he views the clouds, the planets and the stars, the tropic zones and quarters of the sky, from the bright circle of the horned moon even to the height of primum mobile, and whirling round with this circumference within the concave compass of the pole, from east to west his dragons swiftly glide, and in 8 days did bring him home again. Not long he stayed within his quiet house, to rest his bones after his weary toil. But new exploits do hale him out again, and mounted then upon a dragon's back, that with his wings did part the subtle air, he now is gone to prove cosmography, that measures coasts and kingdoms of the earth, and, as I guess, will first arrive at Rome, to see the Pope, and manner of his court, and take some part of Holy Peter's feast, the which this day is highly solemnized.
Exit. Scene 4. Enter Faustus and Mephistophilis.
Having now, my good Mephistophilis, passed with delight the stately town of Trier, environed round with airy mountain tops, with walls of flint and deep entrenched lakes, not to be won by any conquering prince. From Paris next, coasting the realm of France, we saw the river Main fall into Rhine, whose banks are set with groves of fruitful vines. Then up to Naples, rich Campania, whose buildings fair and gorgeous to the eye, the streets straight forth and paved with finest brick, quarter the town in 4 equivalents. There saw we learned Marrow's golden tomb, the way he cut an English mile in length through a rock of stone in 1 night's space. From thence to Venice, Padua, and the rest, in one of which a sumptuous temple stands, that threats the stars with her aspiring top, whose frame is paved with sundry-coloured stones, and roofed aloft with curious work in gold. Thus hitherto hath Faustus spent his time. But tell me now, what resting place is this? Hast thou, as erst I did command, conducted me within the walls of Rome?
I have, my Faustus, and for proof thereof, this is the goodly palace of the Pope, and 'cause we are no common guests, I choose his privy chamber for our use.
I hope his holiness will bid us welcome.
All's one, for we'll be bold with his venison. But now, my Faustus, that thou mayest perceive what Rome contains for to delight thine eyes, know that this city stands upon 7 hills, that underprop the groundwork of the same. Just through the midst runs flowing Tiber's stream, with winding banks that cut it in 2 parts, over the which 2 stately bridges lean, that make safe passage to each part of the Rome. Upon the bridge, called Ponte Angelo, erected is a castle passing strong, where thou shalt see such store of ordnance, as that the double cannons forged of brass do match the number of the days contained, within the compass of 1 complete year, beside the gates and high pyramids that Julius Caesar brought from Africa.
Now, by the kingdoms of infernal rule, of Styx, of Acheron, and the fiery lake of ever-burning Phlegethon, I swear that I do long to see the monuments and situation of bright splendent Rome. Come, therefore, let's away.
Nay, stay, my Faustus. I know you'd see the Pope, and take some part of Holy Peter's feast, the which in state and high solemnity this day is held through Rome and Italy, in honour of the Pope's triumphant victory.
Sweet Mephistophilis, thou pleasest me. Whilst I am here on earth, let me be cloyed with all things that delight the heart of man. My 24 years of liberty I'll spend in pleasure and in dalliance, that Faustus' name, whilst this bright frame doth stand, may be admired through the furthest land.
'Tis well said, Faustus. Come then, stand by me, and thou shalt see them come immediately.
Nay, stay, my gentle Mephistophilis, and grant me my request, and then I go. Thou know'st, within the compass of 8 days we viewed the face of heaven, of earth, and hell. So high our dragons soared into the air, that looking down, the earth appeared to me no bigger than my hand in quantity. There did we view the kingdoms of the world, and what might please mine eye I there beheld. Then in this show let me an actor be, that this proud Pope may Faustus' cunning see.
Let it be so, my Faustus. But first stay, and view their triumphs as they pass this way, and then devise what best contents thy mind, by cunning in thine art to cross the Pope, or dash the pride of this solemnity, to make his monks and abbots stand like apes, and point like antics at his triple crown, to beat the beads about the friars' pates, or clap huge horns upon the cardinals' heads, or any villainy thou canst devise, and I'll perform it, Faustus. Hark, they come. This day shall make thee be admired in Rome.
Enter the cardinals and bishops, some bearing croziers, some the pillars, monks and friars singing their procession, then the Pope, Raymond, King of Hungary, the Archbishop of Rheims, Bruno led in chains, and attendants.
Cast down our footstool.
Saxon Bruno, stoop, whilst on thy back his holiness ascends St. Peter's chair and state pontifical.
Proud Lucifer, that state belongs to me, but thus I fall to Peter, not to thee.
To me and Peter shalt thou grovelling lie, and crouch before the papal dignity. Sound trumpets then, for thus St. Peter's heir from Bruno's back ascends St. Peter's chair.
A flourish while he ascends.
Thus as the gods creep on with feet of wool, long ere with iron hands they punish men, so shall our sleeping vengeance now arise, and smite with death thy hated enterprise. Lord Cardinals of France and Padua, go forthwith to our holy consistory, and read amongst the statutes decretal what, by the holy council held at Trent, the sacred synod hath decreed for him that doth assume the papal government without election and a true consent. Away, and bring us word with speed.
We go, my lord.
Exeunt Cardinals of France and Padua.
Lord Raymond.
They converse in dumb show.
Go haste thee, gentle Mephistophilis. Follow the cardinals to the consistory, and as they turn their superstitious books, strike them with sloth and drowsy idleness, and make them sleep so sound, that in their shapes thyself and I may parley with this Pope, this proud confronter of the Emperor, and, in despite of all his holiness, restore this Bruno to his liberty, and bear him to the states of Germany.
Faustus, I go.
Dispatch it soon. The Pope shall curse that Faustus came to Rome.
Exeunt Faustus and Mephistophilis.
Pope Adrian, let me have right of law. I was elected by the Emperor.
We will depose the Emperor for that deed, and curse the people that submit to him. Both he and thou shall stand excommunicate, and interdict from church's privilege and all society of holy men. He grows too proud in his authority, lifting his lofty head above the clouds, and like a steeple overpeers the church. But we'll pull down his haughty insolence, and as Pope Alexander, our progenitor, trod on the neck of German Frederick, adding this golden sentence to our praise, that Peter's heirs should tread on emperors, and walk upon the dreadful adder's back, treading the lion and the dragon down, and fearless spurn the killing basilisk, so will we quell that haughty schismatic, and by authority apostolical depose him from his regal government.
Pope Julius swore to princely Sigismund for him and the succeeding popes of Rome to hold the emperors their lawful lords.
Pope Julius did abuse the church's rights, and therefore none of his decrees can stand. Is not all power on earth bestowed on us? And therefore, though we would, we cannot err. Behold this silver belt, whereto is fixed 7 golden seals, fast sealed with 7 seals, in token of our 7-fold power from heaven, to bind or loose, lock fast, condemn or judge, resign or seal, or whatso pleaseth us. Then he and thou and all the world shall stoop, or be assured of our dreadful curse, to light as heavy as the pains of hell.
Re-enter Faustus and Mephistophilis, in the shapes of the cardinals of France and Padua.
Now tell me, Faustus, are we not fitted well?
Yes, Mephistophilis, and 2 such cardinals ne'er served a holy pope as we shall do. But whilst they sleep within the consistory, let us salute his reverend fatherhood.
Behold, my lord, the cardinals are returned.
Welcome, grave fathers. Answer presently, what hath our holy council there decreed concerning Bruno and the emperor, in quittance of their late conspiracy against our state and papal dignity?
Most sacred patron of the Church of Rome, by full consent of all the synod of priests and prelates, it is thus decreed, that Bruno and the German emperor be held as lollards and bold schismatics, and proud disturbers of the Church's peace. And if that Bruno, by his own assent, without enforcement of the German peers, did seek to wear the triple diadem, and by your death to climb St. Peter's chair, the statutes decretal have thus decreed he shall be straight condemned of heresy, and on a pile of faggots burnt to death.
It is enough. Here, take him to your charge, and bear him straight to Ponte Angelo, and in the strongest tower enclose him fast. Tomorrow, sitting in our consistory, with all our college of grave cardinals, we will determine of his life or death. Here, take his triple crown along with you, and leave it in the Church's treasury. Make haste again, my good Lord Cardinals, and take our blessing apostolical.
So, 'twas never devil thus blessed before.
Away, sweet Mephistophilis, be gone. The cardinals will be plagued for this anon.
Exeunt Faustus and Mephistophilis with Bruno.
Go presently, and bring a banquet forth, that we may solemnize St. Peter's feast, and with Lord Raymond, King of Hungary, drink to our late and happy victory.
A senate, while a banquet is brought in, and then enter Faustus and Mephistophilis in their own shapes.
Now, Faustus, come, prepare thyself for mirth. The sleepy cardinals are hard at hand to censure Bruno, that is posted hence, and on a proud paced steed, as swift as thought, flies over the Alps to fruitful Germany, there to salute the woeful emperor.
The Pope will curse them for their sloth to-day, that slept both Bruno and his crown away. But now that Faustus may delight his mind, and by their folly make some merriment, sweet Mephistophilis, so charm me here, that I may walk invisible to all, and do whate'er I please, unseen of any.
Faustus, thou shalt. Then kneel down presently, whilst on thy head I lay my hand, and charm thee with this magic wand. First, wear this girdle, then appear invisible to all are here, the planets 7, the gloomy air, hell, and the Furies' forked hair, Pluto's blue fire, and Hecate's tree, with magic spells so compass thee, that no eye may thy body see. So, Faustus, now, for all their holiness, do what thou wilt. Thou shalt not be discerned.
Thanks, Mephistophilis. Now, friars, take heed, lest Faustus make your shaven crowns to bleed.
Faustus no more. See where the cardinals come.
Re-enter the cardinals of France and Padua with a book.
Welcome, Lord Cardinals. Come, sit down. Lord Raymond, take your seat. Friars, attend, and see that all things be in readiness, as best beseems this solemn festival.
First, may it please your sacred holiness to view the sentence of the Reverend Synod concerning Bruto and the Emperor.
What needs this question? Did I not tell you tomorrow we would sit in the consistory, and there determine of his punishment? You brought us word even now. It was decreed that Bruno and the cursed Emperor were by the Holy Council both condemned for loathed lollards and base schismatics. Then wherefore would you have me view that book?
Your Grace mistakes. You gave us no such charge.
Deny it not. We all are witnesses that Bruno here was late delivered you, with his rich triple crown to be reserved, and put in the church's treasury.
By holy Paul, we saw them not.
By Peter, you shall die, unless you bring them forth immediately. Hale them to prison, laid their limbs with gyves. False prelates, for this hateful treachery, cursed be your souls to hellish misery.
Exeunt attendants with the two cardinals.
So, they are safe. Now Faustus to the feast. The Pope had never such a frolic guest.
Lord Archbishop of Reims, sit down with us.
I thank your holiness.
Fall to, the devil choke you an you spare.
Who is that spoke? Friars, look about. Lord Raymond, pray fall to. I am beholding to the Bishop of Milan for this so rare a present.
I thank you, sir.
Snatches the dish.
How now? Who snatched the meat from me? Villains, why speak you not? My good Lord Archbishop, here's a most dainty dish, was sent me from a cardinal in France.
I'll have that too.
Snatches the dish.
What lollards to attend our holiness, that we receive such great indignity. Oh, fetch me some wine.
Aye, pray do, for Faustus is a dry.
Lord Raymond, I drink unto your grace.
I pledge your grace.
Snatches the cup.
My wine gone too. Ye lubbers, look about, and find the man that doth this villainy, or by our sanctitude you all shall die. I pray, my lords, have patience at this troublesome banquet.
Please it, your holiness, I think it be some ghost crept out of purgatory, and now is come unto your holiness for his pardon.
It may be so. Go then, command our priests to sing a dirge, to lay the fury of this same troublesome ghost.
Exit an attendant. The Pope crosses himself.
How now? Must every bit be spiced with a cross? Nay then, take that!
Strikes the Pope.
Oh, I am slain. Help me, my lords. Oh, come and help me to bear my body hence. Damned be his soul for ever for this deed.
Exeunt all except Faustus and Mephistophilis.
Now, Faustus, what will you do now? For I can tell you you'll be accursed with bell, book, and candle.
Bell, book, and candle, candle, book, and bell, forward and backward to curse Faustus to hell.
Re-enter the friars with bell, book, and candle for the dirge.
Come, brethren, let's about our business with good devotion.
They sing.
Cursed be he that stole his holiness meat from the table.
Maledicat Dominus.
Cursed be he that
struck his holiness a blow on the face. Maledicat Dominus. Cursed be he that struck Friar Sandalo a blow on the pate. Maledicat Dominus. Cursed be he that disturbeth our holy dirge. Maledicat Dominus. Cursed be he that took away his holiness wine. Maledicat Dominus. Maledicat Dominus. Maledicat Dominus. Maledicat Dominus.
Mephistopheles and Faustus beat the friars and fling fireworks among them. An exeunt. Act 4 of the Tragical History of Dr. Faustus, from the quarto of 1616, by Christopher Marlowe. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Scene 1. Enter Robin and Dick with a cup.
Sirrah Robin, we will best look that your devil can answer the stealing of this same cup, for the vintner's boy follows us at the hard heels.
'Tis no matter, let him come. An he follow us, I'll so conjure him as he was never conjured in his life, I warrant him. Let me see the cup.
Here 'tis.
Gives the cup to Robin.
Yonder he comes. Now, Robin, now, or never show thy cunning.
Enter Vintner.
Oh, are you here? I am glad I found you. You are a couple of fine companions. Pray, where's the cup you stole from the tavern?
How, we steal a cup? Take heed what you say. We look not like cup stealers, I can tell you.
Never deny it, for I know you have it, and I'll search you.
Search me? Aye, and spare not. Hold the cup, Dick.
Aside to Dick, giving him the cup.
Come, search me, search me.
Vintner searches him.
Come on, Sirrah. Let me search you now.
Aye, do.
Aside to Robin, giving him the cup.
Hold the cup, Robin. I fear not your searching. We scorn to steal your cups, I can tell you.
Vintner searches him.
Never outface me for the matter, for sure the cup is between you two.
Nay, there you lie. 'Tis beyond us both.
A plague take you. I thought it was your knavery to take it away. Come, give it me again.
How much? When can you tell? Dick, make me a circle, and stand close at my back, and stir not for thy life. Vintner, you shall have your cup anon. Say nothing, Dick.
Reads from a book.
O per se O, Demogorgon, Belcher, and Mephistopheles.
Enter Mephistopheles.
You princely legions of infernal rule, how am I vexed by these villains' charms! From Constantinople have they brought me now, only for pleasure of these damned slaves.
Exit Vintner.
By lady, sir, you have had a shrewd journey of it. Will it please you to take a shoulder of mutton to supper, and a tester in your purse, and go back again?
Aye, I pray you heartily, sir, for we called you but in jest, I promise you.
To purge the rashness of this cursed deed, first be thou turned to this ugly shape, for apish deeds transformed to an ape.
Oh, brave, an ape! I pray, sir, let me have the carrying of him about, to show some tricks.
And so thou shalt. Be thou transformed to a dog, and carry him upon thy back. Away, be gone.
A dog? That's excellent. Let the maids look well to their porridge pots, for I'll into the kitchen presently. Come, Dick, come.
Exeunt Robin and Dick.
Now with the flames of ever-burning fire, I'll wing myself, and forthwith fly amain unto my Faustus, to the great Turk's court.
Exit. Scene 2. Enter Martino and Frederick at several doors.
What ho, officers, gentlemen! Hie to the presence to attend the Emperor. Good Frederick, see the rooms be voided straight. His Majesty is coming to the hall. Go back and see the state in readiness.
But where is Bruno, our elected Pope, that on a fury's back came post from Rome? Will not his Grace consort the Emperor?
Oh yes, and with him comes the German conjurer, the learned Faustus, fame of Wittenberg, the wonder of the world for magic art, and he intends to show great Carolus the race of all his stout progenitors, and bring in presence of his Majesty the royal shapes and perfect semblances of Alexander and his beauteous paramour.
Where is Benvolio?
Fast asleep, I warrant you. He took his rouse with stoups of Rhenish wine so kindly yesternight, to Bruno's health, that all this day the sluggard keeps his bed.
See, his window's ope. We'll call to him.
What ho, Benvolio!
Enter Benvolio above, at a window, in his nightcap, buttoning.
What the devil ailed you two?
Speak softly, sir, lest the devil hear you. For Faustus at the court is late arrived, and at his heels 1,000 furies wait to accomplish whatsoever the doctor please.
What of this?
Come, leave thy chamber first, and thou shalt see this conjurer perform such rare exploits before the Pope and royal Emperor as never yet was seen in Germany.
Has not the Pope enough of conjuring yet? He was upon the devil's back late enough. And if he be so far in love with him, I would he would post with him to Rome again.
Speak, wilt thou come and see this sport?
Not I.
Wilt thou stand in thy window and see it then?
Aye, and I fall not asleep in the meantime.
The Emperor is at hand, who comes to see what wonders by black spells may come past be.
Well, go you attend the Emperor. I am content, for this once, to thrust my head out at a window. For they say, if a man be drunk overnight, the devil cannot hurt him in the morning. If that be true, I have a charm in my head, shall control him as well as the conjurer, I warrant you.
Exeunt Frederick and Martino. Scene 3. A Senate. Enter Charles, the German Emperor, Bruno, Duke of Saxony, Faustus, Mephistophilis, Frederick, Martino, and attendants.
Wonder of men, renowned magician, thrice learned Faustus, welcome to our court. This deed of thine in setting Bruno free from his and our professed enemy shall add more excellence unto thine art than if by powerful necromantic spells thou couldst command the world's obedience. For ever be beloved of Carolus. And if this Bruno thou hast late redeemed, in peace possess the triple diadem, and sit in Peter's chair, despite of chance, thou shalt be famous through all Italy, and honoured of the German Emperor.
These gracious words, most royal Carolus, shall make poor Faustus to his utmost power both love and serve the German Emperor, and lay his life at holy Bruno's feet. For proof whereof, if so your grace be pleased, the doctor stands prepared by power of art to cast his magic charms that shall pierce through the ebon gates of ever-burning hell, and hale the stubborn furies from their caves to compass whatsoe'er your grace commands.
Aside.
Blood, he speaks terribly. But for all that, I do not greatly believe him. He looks as like a conjurer as the Pope to a costermonger.
Then, Faustus, as thou late didst promise us, we would behold that famous conqueror, great Alexander, and his paramour, in their true shapes and state majestical, that we may wonder at their excellence.
Your Majesty shall see them presently. Mephistophilis, away! And with a solemn noise of trumpets sound, present before this royal emperor great Alexander and his beauteous paramour.
Faustus, I will.
Exit.
Well, Master Doctor, and your devils come not away quickly, you shall have me asleep presently. Zoons, I could eat myself for anger. To think I have been such an ass all this while, to stand gaping after the devil's governor, and can see nothing.
I'll make you feel something anon, if my art fail me not. My lord, I must forewarn your majesty that when my spirits present the royal shapes of Alexander and his paramour, your grace demand no questions of the king, but in dumb silence let them come and go.
Be it as Faustus please. We are content.
Aye, I'm content too. And thou bring Alexander and his paramour before the emperor, I'll be Actaeon, and turn myself into a stag.
And I'll play Diana, and send you the horns presently.
Senate. Enter at one door the Emperor Alexander, at the other Darius. They meet. Darius is thrown down. Alexander kills him, takes off his crown, and, offering to go out, his paramour meets him. He embraceth her, and sets Darius' crown upon her head, and, coming back, both salute the emperor, who, leaving his state, offers to embrace them, which Faustus, seeing, suddenly stays him. Then trumpets cease, and music sounds.
My gracious lord, you do forget yourself. These are but shadows, not substantial.
Oh, pardon me. My thoughts are so ravished with sight of this renowned emperor, that in mine arms I would have compassed him. But, Faustus, since I may not speak to them, to satisfy my longing thoughts at full, let me this tell thee. I have heard it said that this fair lady, whilst she lived on earth, had on her neck a little wart or mole. How may I prove that saying to be true?
Your majesty may boldly go and see.
Faustus, I see it plain, and in this sight thou better pleasest me than if I gained another monarchy.
Away, begone.
Exit show.
See, my gracious lord, what strange beast is yon that thrusts his head out at window?
Oh, wondrous sight! See, Duke of Saxony, 2 spreading horns, most strangely fastened, upon the head of young Benvolio.
What? Is he asleep or dead?
He sleeps, my lord, but dreams not of his horns.
This sport is excellent. We'll call and wake him. What ho, Benvolio!
Oh, plague upon you, let me sleep a while.
I blame thee not to sleep much, having such a head of thine own.
Look up, Benvolio. 'Tis the Emperor calls.
The Emperor? Where? Oh, zoons! My head!
Nay, and thy horns hold. 'Tis no matter for thy head, for that's armed sufficiently.
Why, how now, sir knight? What, hanged by the horns? This is most horrible. Fie, fie, pull in your head, for shame. Let not all the world wonder at you.
Zoons! Doctor, this is your villainy.
Oh, say not so, sir. The doctor has no skill, no art, no cunning, to present these lords, or bring before this royal emperor the mighty monarch, warlike Alexander. If Faustus do it, you are straight resolved in bold Actaeon's shape to turn a stag. And therefore, my lord, so please your majesty, I'll raise a kennel of hounds, shall hunt him, so as all his footmanship shall scarce prevail to keep his carcass from their bloody fangs. Ho, Belimoth, Argiron, Astaroth!
Hold, zoons! He'll raise up a kennel of devils, I think, anon. Good my lord, entreat for me. 'Sblood, I am never able to endure these torments.
Then, good master doctor, let me entreat you to remove his horns. He has done penance now sufficiently.
My gracious lord, not so much for injury done to me, as to delight your majesty with some mirth, hath Faustus justly requited this injurious knight. Which being all I desire, I am content to remove his horns. Mephistophilis, transform him.
Mephistophilis removes the horns.
And hereafter, sir, look you speak well of scholars.
Aside, and then exit above.
Speak well of ye? 'Sblood, and scholars be such cuckold makers to clap horns of honest men's heads of this order? I'll ne'er trust smooth faces and small ruffs more. But an I be not revenged for this, would I might be turned to a gaping oyster, and drink nothing but salt water.
Come, Faustus, while the emperor lives, in recompense of this thy high desert, thou shalt command the state of Germany, and live beloved of mighty Carolus.
Exeunt. Scene 4. Enter Benvolio, Martino, Frederick, and soldiers.
Nay, sweet Benvolio, let us sway thy thoughts from this attempt against the conjurer.
Away! You love me not, to urge me thus? Shall I let slip so great an injury, when every servile groom jests at my wrongs, and in their rustic gambols proudly say Benvolio's head was graced with horns today? Oh, may these eyelids never close again, till with my sword I have that conjurer slain. If you will aid me in this enterprise, then draw your weapons and be resolute. If not, depart. Here will Benvolio die, but Faustus' death shall quit my infamy.
Nay, we will stay with thee, betide what may, and kill that doctor if he come this way.
Then, gentle Frederick, hie thee to the grove, and place our servants and our followers close in an ambush there, behind the trees. By this I know the conjurer is near. I saw him kneel and kiss the emperor's hand, and take his leave laden with rich rewards. Then, soldiers, boldly fight. If Faustus die, take you the wealth, leave us the victory.
Come, soldiers, follow me unto the grove. Who kills him shall have gold and endless love.
Exit Frederick and soldiers.
My head is lighter than it was by the horns, but yet my heart's more ponderous than my head, and pants until I see that conjurer dead.
Where shall we place ourselves, Benvolio?
Here will we stay to bide the first assault. O, were that damned hellhound but in place, thou shouldst see me quit my foul disgrace.
Re-enter Frederick.
Close, close, the conjurer is at hand, and all alone comes walking in his gown. Be ready then, and strike the peasant down.
Mine be that honour then. Now, sword, strike home. For horns he gave, I'll have his head anon.
See, see, he comes.
Enter Faustus with a false head.
No words. This blow ends all. Hell, take his soul. His body thus must fall.
Stabs Faustus. Falling.
Ah!
Groan you, Master Doctor?
Break may his heart with groans. Dear Frederick, see! Thus will I end his griefs immediately.
Strike with a willing hand.
Benvolio strikes off Faustus' head.
His head is off.
The devil's dead. The Furies now may laugh.
Was this that stern aspect, that awful frown, made the grim monarch of infernal spirits tremble and quake at his commanding charms?
Was this that damned head whose art conspired Benvolio's shame before the emperor?
Aye, that's the head, and there the body lies, justly rewarded for his villainies.
Come, let's devise how we may add more shame to the black scandal of his hated name.
First on his head, in quittance of my wrongs, I'll nail huge forked horns, and let them hang within the window where he yoked me first, that all the world may see my just revenge.
What use shall we put his beard to?
We'll sell it to a chimney sweeper. It'll wear out 10 birchen brooms, I warrant you.
What shall his eyes do?
We'll pull out his eyes, and they shall serve for buttons to his lips, to keep his tongue from catching cold.
An excellent policy. And now, sirs, having divided him, what shall the body do?
Faustus rises.
Zounds! The devil's alive again!
Give him his head, for God's sake.
Nay, keep it. Faustus will have head and hands, aye, all your hearts to recompense this deed. Knew you not, traitors, I was limited for 24 years to breathe on earth? And had you cut my body with your swords, or hewed this flesh and bones as small as sand, yet in a minute had my spirit returned, and I had breathed a man made free from harm. But wherefore do I dally my revenge? Astaroth, Belimoth, Mephistopheles!
Enter Mephistopheles and other devils.
Go, horse these traitors on your fiery backs, and mount aloft with them as high as heaven. Thence pitch them headlong to the lowest hell. Yet stay, the world shall see their misery, and hell shall after plague their treachery. Go, Belimoth, and take this caitiff hence, and hurl him in some lake of mud and dirt. Take thou this other, drag him through the woods amongst the pricking thorns and sharpest briars, whilst with my gentle Mephistopheles this traitor flies unto some steepy rock, that rolling down may break the villain's bones, as he intended to dismember me. Fly hence, despatch my charge immediately.
Pity us, gentle Faustus, save our lives.
Away.
He must needs go, that the devil drives.
Exeunt Mephistopheles and devils with Benvolio, Martino, and Frederick. Enter the ambushed soldiers.
Come, sirs, prepare yourselves in readiness. Make haste to help these noble gentlemen. I heard them parley with the conjurer.
See where he comes. Dispatch and kill the slave.
What's here? An ambush to betray my life. Then, Faustus, try thy skill. Base peasants, stand! For lo, these trees remove at my command, and stand as bulwarks twixt yourselves and me, to shield me from your hated treachery. Yet to encounter this your weak attempt, behold, an army comes incontinent.
Faustus strikes the door, and enter a devil playing on a drum. After him another bearing an ensign, and divers with weapons. Mephistopheles with fireworks. They set upon the soldiers, drive them out, and exeunt. Enter at several doors Benvolio, Frederick, and Martino, their heads and faces bloody and besmeared with mud and dirt, all having horns on their heads.
What, ho! Benvolio!
Here. What? Frederick? Ho!
Oh, help me, gentle friend. Where's Martino?
Dear Frederick, here, half smothered in a lake of mud and dirt, through which the Furies dragged me by the heels.
Martino, see, Benvolio's horns again.
Oh, misery! How now, Benvolio?
Defend me, heaven! Shall I be haunted still?
Nay, fear not, men. We have no power to kill.
My friends, transform it thus! O hellish spite! Your heads are all set with horns.
You hit it right. It is your own you mean. Feel on your head.
Zounds! Horns again!
Nay, chafe not, men. We all are sped.
What devil attends this damned magician? that, spite of spite, our wrongs are doubled.
What may we do, that we may hide our shames?
If we should follow him to work revenge, he'd join long ass's ears to these huge horns, and make us laughing stocks to all the world.
What shall we then do, dear Benvolio?
I have a castle joining near these woods, and thither we'll repair and live obscure, till time shall alter these our brutish shapes. Sith black disgrace hath thus eclipsed our fame, we'll rather die with grief than live with shame.
Exeunt. Scene 5. Enter Faustus, a horse courser, and Mephistophilis.
I beseech your worship, accept of these $40.
Friend, thou canst not buy so good a horse for so small a price. I have no great need to sell him, but if thou likest him for $10 more, take him, because I see thou hast a good mind to him.
I beseech you, sir, accept of this. I'm a very poor man, and have lost very much of late by horseflesh, and this bargain will set me up again.
Well, I will not stand with thee. Give me the money.
Horse courser gives Faustus the money.
Now, sirrah, I must tell you that you may ride him o'er hedge and ditch, and spare him not. But, do you hear? In any case, ride him not into the water.
How, sir? Not into the water? Why, will he not drink of all waters?
Yes, he will drink of all waters, but ride him not into the water, or hedge and ditch, or where thou wilt, but not into the water. Go, bid the hostler deliver him unto you, and remember what I say.
I'll warrant you, sir. Oh, joyful day! Now I'm a made man for ever.
Exit.
Ah, what art thou, Faustus, but a man condemned to die? Thy fatal time draws to a final end. Despair doth drive distrust into my thoughts. Confound these passions with a quiet sleep. Tush! Christ did call the thief upon the cross. Then rest thee, Faustus, quiet in conceit.
He sits to sleep. Re-enter the horse courser, wet.
Oh, what a cozening doctor was this! I riding my horse into the water, thinking some hidden mystery had been in the horse. I had nothing under me but a little straw, and had much ado to escape drowning. Well, I'll go rouse him, and make him give me my $40 again. Oh, sirrah doctor, you cozening scab! Master doctor, awake and rise and give me my money again, for your horse is turned to a bottle of hay, master doctor.
He pulls off Faustus' leg.
Alas! I'm undone. What shall I do? I've pulled off his leg.
Oh, help! Help! The villain hath murdered me!
Aside.
Murder or not murder, now he has but one leg. I'll outrun him and cast this leg into some ditch or other.
And then runs out.
Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Faustus hath his leg again, and the horse courser a bundle of hay for his $40.
Enter Wagner.
How now, Wagner? What news with thee?
If it please you, the Duke of Van Holt doth earnestly entreat your company, and hath sent some of his men to attend you, with provision fit for your journey.
The Duke of Van Holt's an honourable gentleman, and one to whom I must be no niggard of my cunning. Come, away.
Exeunt. Scene 6. Enter Robin, Dick, the horse courser, and a carter.
Come, my masters, I'll bring you to the best beer in Europe. What a hostess! Where be these whores?
Enter hostess.
How now, what lack you? What, my old guests, welcome.
Sirrah Dick, dost thou know why I stand so mute?
No, Robin, why is't?
I am 18 pence on the score, but say nothing. See if she have forgotten me.
Who's this that stands so solemnly by himself? What, my old guest?
Oh, hostess, how do you? I hope my score stands still.
Ay, there's no doubt of that, for methinks you make no haste to wipe it out.
Why, hostess, I say, fetch us some beer.
You shall presently. Look up into the hall there. Ho!
Exit. Drink is presently brought in.
Come, sirs, what shall we do now till mine hostess comes?
Marry, sir, I'll tell you the bravest tale our conjurer served me. You know Dr. Faustus? Aye, a plague take him. Here's someone's have cause to know him. Did he conjure thee too? I'll tell you how he served me. As I was going to Wittenberg t'other day with a load of hay, he met me and asked me what he should give me for as much hay as he could eat. Now, sir, I thinking that a little would serve his turn, bade him take as much as he would for 3 farthings. So he presently gave me my money and fell to eating. And as I'm a cursing man, he never left eating till he had eat up all my load of hay.
Oh,
monstrous! Eat a whole load of hay?
Yes, yes, that may be, for I have heard of one that has eat a load of logs.
Now, sirs, you shall hear how villainously he served me. I went to him yesterday to buy a horse of him, and he would by no means sell him under $40. So, sir, because I knew him to be such a horse as would run over edge and ditch and never tire, I gave him his money. So when I had my horse, Dr. Faustus bade me ride him night and day, and spare him no time. But, quoth he, in any case, ride him not into the water. Now, sir, I thinking the horse had some quality that he would not have me know of, what did I but rid him into a great river? And when I came just in the midst, my horse vanished away, and I sate straddling upon a bottle of hay.
Oh, brave doctor!
But you shall hear how bravely I served him for it. I went me home to his house, and there I found him asleep. I kept a hallooing and whooping in his ears, but all could not wake him. I, seeing that, took him by the leg, and never rested pulling till I pulled me his leg quite off, and now 'tis at home in mine ostry.
And has the doctor but one leg then? That's excellent, for one of his devils turned me into the likeness of an ape's face.
Some more drink, hostess?
Hark you, we'll into another room and drink a while, and then we'll go seek out the doctor.
Exeunt. Scene 7. Enter the Duke of Van Holt, his Duchess, Faustus, Mephistophilis, and attendants.
Thanks, Master Doctor, for these pleasant sights. Nor know I how sufficiently to recompense your great deserts in erecting that enchanted castle in the air, the sight whereof so delighted me, as nothing in the world could please me more.
I do think myself, my good lord, highly recompensed, in that it pleaseth your grace to think but well of that which Faustus hath performed. But, gracious lady, it may be that you have taken no pleasure in those sights. Therefore I pray you tell me, what is the thing you most desire to have? Be it in the world, it shall be yours. I have heard that great-bellied women do long for things are rare and dainty.
True, Master Doctor, and since I find you so kind, I will make known unto you what my heart desires to have, and were it now summer, as it is January, a dead time of the winter, I would request no better meat than a dish of ripe grapes.
This is but a small matter. Go, Mephistophilis, away.
Exit Mephistophilis.
Madam, I will do more than this for your content.
Re-enter Mephistophilis with grapes.
Here now, taste you these. They should be good, for they come from a far country, I can tell you.
This makes me wonder more than all the rest, that at this time of the year, when every tree is barren of his fruit, from whence you had these ripe grapes.
Please it your grace, the year is divided into 2 circles over the whole world, so that when it is winter with us, in the contrary circle it is likewise summer with them, as in India, Saba, and such countries that lie far east, where they have fruit twice a year. From whence, by means of a swift spirit that I have, I had these grapes brought, as you see.
And trust me, they are the sweetest grapes that e'er I tasted.
The clowns bounce at the gate within.
What rude disturbers have we at the gate? Go, pacify their fury, set it ope, and then demand of them what they would have.
They knock again and call out to talk with Faustus. Why, how now, masters? What a coil is there? What is the reason you disturb the Duke? Within.
We have no reason for it, therefore a fig for him.
Why, saucy varlets, dare you be so bold? Within.
I hope, sir, we have wit enough to be more bold and welcome.
It appears so. Pray, be bold elsewhere, and trouble not the Duke.
What would they have?
They all cry out to speak with Dr. Faustus. Within.
Aye, and we will speak with him.
Will you, sir, commit the rascals?
Within.
Commit with us? He were as good commit with his father as commit with us.
I do beseech your grace, let them come in. They are a good subject for a merriment.
Do as thou wilt, Faustus.
I give thee leave.
I thank your grace.
Enter Robin, Dick, Carter, and Horse-courser.
Why, how now, my good friends? Faith, you are too outrageous. But come near, I have procured your pardons. Welcome all.
Nay, sir, we'll be welcome for our money, and we'll pay for what we take. What-o? Give us half a dozen of beer here, and be hanged.
Nay, hark you, can you tell me where you are?
Aye, marry, can I? We're under heaven.
Aye, but, Sir Saucebox, know you in what place?
Aye, aye, the house is good enough to drink in. Zounds, fill us some beer, and we'll break all the barrels in the house, and dash out all your brains with your bottles.
Be not so furious. Come, you shall have beer. My lord, beseech you give me leave a while. I'll gauge my credit, 'twill content your grace.
With all my heart, kind doctor, please thyself, our servants and our courts at thy command.
I humbly thank your grace. Then fetch some beer.
Ay, marry, there spake a doctor indeed, and faith, I'll drink a health to thy wooden leg for that word.
My wooden leg? What dost thou mean by that?
Ha ha ha! Dost hear him, Dick? He has forgot his leg. Aye, aye, he does not stand much upon that.
No, faith, not much upon a wooden leg.
Good Lord, that flesh and blood should be so frail with your worship. Do you not remember a horse-courser you sold a horse to?
Yes, I remember I sold one a horse.
And do you remember you bid he should not ride him into the water?
Yes, I do very well remember that.
And do you remember nothing of your leg?
No, in good sooth.
Then I pray you, remember your courtesy.
I thank you, sir.
'Tis not so much worth. I pray you, tell me one thing.
What's that?
Be both your legs bedfellows every night together?
Wouldst thou make a colossus of me that thou askest me such questions?
No, truly, sir, I would make nothing of you, but I would fain know that.
Enter hostess with drink.
Then I assure thee certainly, they are.
I thank you. I'm fully satisfied.
But wherefore dost thou ask?
For nothing, sir, but methinks you should have a wooden bedfellow of one of 'em. Why, do you hear, sir? Did not I pull off one of your legs when you were asleep?
But I have it again now I am awake. Look you here, sir.
Oh,
horrible!
Had
the doctor 3 legs?
Do you remember, sir, how you cozened me, and ate up all my load of—
Faustus, in the middle of each speech, charms them dumb.
Do you remember how you made me wear an ape's?
You horse-on conjuring scab! Do you remember how you cozened me with a hot—
Have you forgotten me? You think to carry it away with your hay-pass and repass? Do you remember the dog's fat—
Exeunt clowns.
Who pays for the ale? Hear you, Master Doctor, now you have sent away my guests. I pray, who shall pay me for a—
Exit hostess.
My lord, we are much beholding to this learned man.
So are we, madam, which we will recompense with all the love and kindness that we may. His artful sport drives all sad thoughts away.
Exeunt. Act 5.